Good evening, folks. Good evening from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Currently, the time is 1 a.m. in the morning, and I I know I'm having a weird routine that I've been sleeping in the daytime and waking up at night, staying up all night and stuff. So doing my work basically. I'm doing my reviews and whatnot. So it's just like a timetable got messed up a little bit. So never mind. Who wants to be up in the daytime anyway, right? So right now, let me show you first. I'm having, as usual, my favorite thing, cup of tea. My cup of tea. Right, so today's tea, it's going to be double tea bag. It's going to be Isfahani Mirzapur. It's This tea is like the number one tea brand in Bangladesh, I think, alongside with Lipton and KK. So this tea especially, it's mixed with citrus, as you can see, the light color. I added citrus. I love citrus. I love lemon. So this particular tea is grown in our one of our cities. It's called Sylhet. So Sylhet and Srimangol, the two places I'll write down in the description box. So that's where we grow our. We have our tea garden, just like Sri Lanka, India, Malaysia. We also have our tea gardens, and then we export. I mean, yeah, we export tea worldwide. Our tea is very famous. Especially this is Pahani Mirzapur. If you see this tag, if you see this one, it's one of the best tea that Bangladesh produces. Very good color, very strong aroma. All right. So I'm letting the tea bag sit in the mug just for 5 minutes or so. Then I'll start drinking. Right. Second thing is, most probably tomorrow morning, as I promised to you, I'm going to one place. I'm not quite sure where I'm going. I don't want to reveal it. Let's keep it a surprise. And probably I'll do like a shorter review. I'll show mostly like the place, like one of the places, because as you know, going to places is not that easy. It's a bit more challenging because we have some security issues. Some roads are not that good. Some places are remote, and then you need to have security alongside you, as well as you don't want to lose out. You don't want to get robbed. So yeah, I try to go different places. So tomorrow, I think I got managed to get the car. It's a public holiday going on. It's now the 1 week holiday for Bangladesh, year end, for the New Year, Christmas, and all sort of holidays. So right. So tomorrow I'm gonna take one fragrance with me, most probably, and then I'll show you tomorrow itself only. So for as far as tonight's episode, I was just took shower and stuff. I had my dinner, so I was like, need some more time, right? So I thought I want to put on something that makes me feel special, one of those fragrances that make you feel special. So I decided to pull this out. One of my favorite fragrances in my collection. If I make a top 10, this is always going to make it top 10, no matter how many bottles I own. Declaration d'un Soir from the House of Cartier. This is a flanker for the very famous Jean-Claude Ellina's masterpiece, Declaration. I did initially, when I started reviewing with my shitty camera and all, I did a comparison video side by side. So I just thought I'd just take an exclusive take at this. Since this is one of my signature scents, one of my special scents. I wear this only when I'm feeling that special. I want to be uplifted, something different from usual routines, right? So this is one of my favorite fragrances, right? So this particular house, Declaration. So this whole line, there's a huge line, by the way, for the Declaration. This being the father, this is a beautiful red box. As you can see, I'm not taking out the bottle. So Declaration, what I'm trying to say, this one has number of flankers. Just gonna tell you some flankers. There would be the Bois Bleu, they have Cologne, they have d'un Soir Intense, which one the flanker is for Declaration d'un Soir. So Declaration d'un Soir has another flanker. Then they have Amour, they have Edition Limitée. Oh my god, my French, I don't speak French. They have Essence, Fresh, and then Le. So basically, as you can see, I'm gonna own basically. I'm gonna copy it basically. Don't worry. So as you can see, they have lots of flankers. I tried most of them because just before the days before I left Malaysia, I think I got this like 1 month or 2 months prior before leaving. So I was rushing to buy my favorite fragrances, and they're really hurting my bank really bad because I ended up spending most of my money, whatever I had saved in Malaysia. I spent them all in fragrances. So I went to KLCC. This is where I got it from. KLCC is the Petronas Twin Towers in Malaysia, which is located in city center of Kuala Lumpur. And there's a shopping mall, which is the most famous. All the tourists, they go there. So I went to just check out what else is on. I had a list with me. I had like 5-10 fragrances list. La Nuit. No, not La Nuit. I had Bleu de Chanel. I have few others, right? So I was thinking which one to buy. Then I saw this. They have Cartier, they have I think promotion going on. The price was not like reduced, but then they were giving away a lot of free stuff, you know. So I got Declaration d'un Soir, and the sad thing is I actually went to buy this Declaration d'un Soir, and the lady by mistake gave me this declaration. So I was not even sure which one to, because like I was like so excited, I totally didn't check out the box. So one tip for you guys: when you buy the fragrances, always make sure the shop attendant or whatever what they're packing, make sure you check again and again, or you pick up the right bottle. Always look in the details. Oh, Declaration d'un Soir. Oh no, not d'un Soir. ADT. Oh, this is not the one. So I brought this home. Thing is, this is a very challenging fragrance, you know. The thing is, I'm not saying I hate it. It's very difficult, one of those challenging fragrances. I'm learning to adopt it, but this is not what I wanted. And then I was very sad. They gave me like 6 samples or so. I ended up buying Declaration d'un Soir later on as well. But then it hurts because they're not exactly Declaration. This line is not really cheap. So any Cartier house, if you see the fragrances, retail prices are crazy high. I ended up paying for the smaller bottle because I didn't have my cash. Since I bought the smaller bottle, I had to buy the smaller bottle for Declaration. So Declaration, I paid about $80. If you can imagine, $80 for a 50 ml bottle. This is a 50 ml bottle. As you can see, my juice level is down, obviously, because it's a smaller bottle. And the bigger bottle, you're gonna end up paying, I think, around $105 to $110 retail. And I haven't seen these fragrances discounted much anywhere in Malaysia. So do let me know in States how much is it, or your countries, if you get a good price. Definitely you get better price than Malaysia. Alright, so this particular fragrance, let me show you the presentation. The box is kind of different from the original. The original is red, very nice looking, gorgeous looking red. This is more like, excuse me, black, and there's a red Cartier written in red font, and it's like a sideways vertical. And then Declaration, there's supposed to be Declaration. People, oh my god, excuse me. Declaration d'un Soir. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. EDT and 50 ml. In the back, it says something in French and made in France. That's what I figured out. That's what it says. That's all important. Bottom, you get your sticker code and whatnot. And I think the side, there's nothing much, on top you get your the Cartier logo, right? This one, the bottle, as I showed you before also, for those who haven't seen, I'm showing it for you. The longer it gets, if you buy the bigger bottle, 100 ml, it gets much longer. It looks much nicer. It looks like a shampoo bottle, right? And then one of the things I'm not really fond of, as you guys know, sorry, like here you can see the sprayer, and it looks like there's a stopper right here, and put it back, so then you can spray. If you put it up, it's kind of like a locker, like a lock, the lock mechanism like Lamal, but I think Lamal one is better than this. This one looks like very, very flimsy, might break. And the neck, especially, I'm not very big fan of the neck. Looks like shaved neck of a chicken. I'm not criticizing Cartier, because Cartier is a very posh house. They make watch, jewelry and whatnot. And this one, I think, made to look like a watch dial or something, you know, like you change your time and stuff. That's what it represents. So that's why it looks like that. So most of the bottles, they look like that. And it says Declaration d'un Soir, and then nicely, it's a bit different from the original Declaration, because the Declaration that has the shoulder would be like bit like this, here bit curvy. This one is straightforward. You can see it's cut like crystal. It's pretty nice from the side. It looks like this, yeah, and then back. It looks like very nice presentation on this thin bottle. Bottom like this, cut like crystal, and you get your sticker code and batch code at the bottom, right? And the juice is pretty much down here, as I showed you. So the story behind this is, as you can know, it's a bit painful story. I wanted to get something, ended up buying something else thanks to the lady. So she felt really bad, and then I went back to her. I'm like, lady, what did you do? And then she felt like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, sir. She gave me, I think, around 12 samples. So the samples I got, I'll show you with this, as I showed you before. This is Pasha Noir Edition Noir. Very nice fragrance. I got like 6-7 bottles of this, right? So I gifted away to my mom, my friends and whatnot. So I still have the last one pretty much left here. Very nice fragrance, this one, okay? As well as the smaller replica bottle for Declaration. So this is how the Declaration looks like on the shoulder bit, as you can see, curve. And I'm sorry about the dust because it's out. Yeah, so I haven't used this one. And then I have a small sample for Pasha, okay? So I have few, and I've tried out most of their fragrances from the line. And let me tell you which one I love the most. Declaration d'un Soir, right? And this is one of my regrets, buying a very small bottle. I used up most of the stuff, like half of it, more than half of it, experimenting. So it's gone. So I'm treasuring it out now. I'm using much lesser right now. Okay. So let's go to the review. Okay. I know I took a bit long talking about the history and whatnot, but I felt it was necessary. Okay. So very quickly. So it's classified as rose, fresh, spicy, woody. That sort of classification. All right. So the original declaration, this one is a masterpiece by Jean-Claude Elena, but he didn't make the flanker for this one. This Declaration d'un Soir was, I think, made, I'm gonna butcher the name again, Mathilde Laurent. That was the perfume. I'm gonna write down his or her name. And then the theme, as I told you, it's the theme is taken from the watch from Declaration line, right? Declaration. So it's, you know, built to give you something like a impression of the dial or something of a watch, right? Okay. So the notes in this, very short listing for notes. They are, here you go, here goes: caraway, cardamom, rose, black pepper, nutmeg, and sandalwood, right? So very short notes breakdown, but I feel that's what this particular fragrance is supposed to. Very simplistic approach. All right. This one is very clear on what it's trying to do. So the similar kind of fragrance in this classification would be other fragrance. This is like a nighttime bit. People say summer, hotter country, but I feel with cooler weather, this one brings out the most sexiness and does the best what it's supposed to. So this one similar would be Dior Homme, Valentino Uomo, Midnight in Paris, which I recently tried. I loved it. And then as well as La Nuit de l'Homme. So they all basically do the same kind of, role. They play the same role, even though very different from each other in terms of smell and nose breakdown. Okay. So this one I'm gonna spray it, and I tell you, because I have it on my, I used it as a scent of the night, so I have it on me. So I'm gonna just spray it on the paper. The sprayer works already really good, very good sprayer. See, sprays a lot of juice. Now I get to feel like I'm in a rose garden. That's what this particular fragrance smells like. Oh my god, orgasmic stuff. This is what I describe as orgasmic stuff. Just to my nose, to in my world, this is thing of a beauty. This is a thing of a masterpiece. Doesn't smell at all like Declaration much. It smells a lot like its own fragrance. It should have been a original release. Shouldn't have been like, people who are not aware of this flanker. I feel really pity. Thank God this got some love, and then it got some talk in the community, right? All right, so what do I get? So it says the according to the notes, those I already mentioned, but I'll tell you what I get. Rose right from the beginning. This is the kind of rose, the very dark red rose, like passionate romantic rose that you give in the, imagine like you give a card to your sweetheart and you put a rose in between. Very dark rose. It's not totally bloomed, but it's not very young. It's somewhere in between. And the thing is, it got some dew on it. Maybe you can imagine that one green leaf or two green leaves along with the rose, and the thorn is right there. Because the thorn, it feels like the kick of pepper. There's a very nice pepper kick as well. Yeah. Doesn't smell synthetic at all. For a designer fragrance, for me, I smell thousands of, not so many thousands, but at least more than 1,000 or 2,000 fragrances in my lifetime, right? Doesn't smell like any designer fragrance that I came across. The quality in this doesn't smell anything synthetic or cheap. All right. So yeah, tea goes perfectly with this. If you're drinking tea and you're smelling this, perfect. Imagine you're sitting in a rose garden, right? You're sitting in a rose garden covered by grass, very cold, and it's like a very quiet place. It's far from the main road, main street. There's only birds sounds and only maybe the sounds of the nature. Absolute peace. Maybe you're sitting in a swing, all right? And you feel like you are in absolute peace of your mind, and you're drinking your tea, sitting with your sweetheart, and smelling rose all around you. It's a rose garden only. So that's what you gotta feel, because I'm not gonna say I didn't pick up this note, that note. Honestly speaking, I don't pick up all the notes that enlisted. What I really pick up is the pepper kick from the fresh spicy rose. Amazing. Little bit touch of powderiness, very slight touch, and it's very, very prominent. Moment you spray this on, you cannot miss it. I used this once, like I was going out on a date. I was in Bangladesh. This is in Bangladesh. So I sprayed this on, 1-2 sprays, and I was in the lift. Got inside. from my floor, and one floor below me, there's a family that got in. There are like 4 or 5 people in the lift, and the kid goes like, mom, who smells like perfume here? The thing is, the mom was like shy, shh, right? And the kid actually liked it. It's not like, what, it's a nasty one. No. So the thing is, they can smell it very prominent. So the opening is very power packed, very strong. Unfortunately, one thing about this is my lady, my date didn't like this smell. I was very sad and upset. I'm just like, I feel bad because it's not everybody's cup of tea. Because the dry down that comes, because I guess when I met her finally after 1 hour or so, the dry down started coming, the sandalwood started coming. The dry down, you get so much of the nutmeg, the spicy mixed with sandalwood. So it's like a woody, sort of like a oriental spicy, and then the bit of back in the days, those soaps you see made of sandalwood, pure sandalwood smell, along with the nutmeg, spicy nutmeg. If you know what nutmeg smells like, that's what it gives. So the dry down is not a very, I think, pleasant note to many people's nose, not just her. Maybe guys wouldn't like it. Some guys, they said they don't like Declaration d'un Soir, right up. For me, I love the opening, the rose. The rose carries along all the way, but the sandalwood takes over in the dry down, right? So the total lifeline of this fragrance is, I think, I would give this like a 7 out of 10. So you, in Bangladesh condition, if you're wearing it in the cooler weather, perfect. If you're wearing it in the hot, the the sandalwood and the powdery vibe will come out more, which is not a expected or desired effect, right? So wear this in a cooler weather. All right. So this is more romantic. I would say words like romantic, sexy. For date, perfect date scent. All right. If you know Midnight in Paris, that romantic theme, you're on a bridge and there's a full moon and stuff, and it's like bit cold weather, clouds flying away, and you see the the tower in Paris. Yep, that sort of feel, very romantic. And the rose is very manly. The ladies can wear it alike, but I feel for the first time one of the floral fragrances that can be pulled confidently by a man. Yep. As well as mature, red, spicy, rose. Those are the things that come to my mind when I describe this. Very good compliment garner if your lady is, if you're in a closed room and stuff. Yep. For the first opening 2 hours or 1 hour, let's say 1 hour, to project very nicely. Then after that, it will be a bit more near to your skin and could be close encounter. The thing is, if your lady or your friends don't like it, maybe stay away, bit distance from them, right? So longevity is 7, projection for the first hour 10, then after that it gets bit around like 7, in that sort of area. Compliment wise, right in the middle. I'm telling you, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Rose is a very particular note. Not everybody loves or big fan of rose. I happen to love rose, so I love this. So it's right in the middle. So it could be really loved or really hated, right? Declaration d'un Soir. And perfect for evening wear. That's what I feel is the perfect time to wear this. Daytime, you can wear it, but then, the smell is such a thing. You have to feel it. When you close your eyes, you smell it with your nose. It touches your senses. It's your inner senses, right? So in the evening, it's a bit cooler, and the ladies have shawl on, and imagine like you're having a nice classy dress on, suit, black suit, and white shirt, and you have like a rose or flower tucked in your suit. Yep. If you're on a bridge, just after dinner, you're taking lady out for a walk. Yes. Younger people, I'm not quite sure if you're gonna like it. If your rose is your thing, I think more of subcontinent people, because we love rose. One last story I'm gonna say, what it reminds me of. One last thing, it reminds me of the great emperor Shah Jahan. If you know Shah Jahan, he built the famous Taj Mahal, the tourist attraction in India. He built it for his fourth wife. If you don't know, just a little bit history. His wife's name was Mumtaz. Mumtaz, I think, was at just like 19 years old when she got married to him, and she was his fourth wife. So talking about love, a bit controversial, right? But people say Taj Mahal is a, like a example of how love should be. All right, it's an icon of love, right, in India, right? But one thing, dark secret, I think, if I'm correct me, people from India and those who know history, for people from historian side, right? I heard like this guy Shah Jahan, right? King Shah Jahan, he cut off the hand of all the workers after the Taj Mahal was built. so that they cannot build another showpiece like this, like another masterpiece like that. So I heard that, maybe it's a rumor or it's true, people say it's true or not, but then that's what it reminds me of, the love of King Shah Jahan, who was initially named Prince Khurram, right? I just dig this all from the history, right? So for the love of his fourth wife, never mind, a king, this is a fragrance fit for the kings, fit for the emperors, and then very high class fragrance, and it's worth every penny you spent on this, right? It not definitely your everyday wear, casual wear, special occasion, date, romantic, maybe not in the office, all right? And only bit mature people can appreciate this, both ladies and men, right? So look into Declaration d'un Soir. I'm gonna give overall mark 10 out of 10, being a masterpiece, and seriously doesn't feel like a flanker at all, because they smell really different from each other. That one is a bit more green. This one has, as I said in the beginning, rose, solely on rose. Very big chunk of the smell is rose, 65% at least, all right? And then the dry down is like the sandalwood, the nutmeg, and bit spicy and bit powdery. That's it, not much powdery. Romantic scent, all right? One of the most romantic scents ever produced in my opinion, right? So thank you very much for watching, and then wait for the episode tomorrow. I hope everything goes well and I bring you a very nice place. I hope, going there for the first time myself, hoping it's a nice place, all right? And then maybe I'll show you one fragrance, just mini review, maybe some other things, food, whatnot, if I can pick up from that place, I'll show you. So wait for that episode. Take care, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Good night from Bangladesh.